Okay, let's get back to the national team. We promised a roster build, or I don't know if I promised it, but I did in my mind. But we're doing a roster build. We're going to go with our strongest 4-2-3-1. And because Chuck kind of teased it earlier that he's already done that, that he decided, let's lay out how we think that Mauricio Pochettino 4-2-3-1 is his preferred formation. Yeah. If he goes back to that for the October window, though we saw some success with the back three in the September window, which is obviously something we've been clamoring for. I feel like the back four and the goalkeeper is locked. Chuck,
I don't think there's any discussion from us. There's not going to be any disagreement in terms of the keeper, which is Matt Freese. I watched him play last night against Inter Miami and Messi, and even though it was lopsided, I think he still made some good saves. There's probably a couple that he, no matter who was in goal, they weren't going to be saved. Their back line didn't hold up to the Inter Miami test. So left back here, Anthony Robinson, without a doubt, finally got a start right for Fulham in their last match. So we got Anthony. Then next to him is going to be Tim Ream. I don't think anyone is going.
We're not going to. No disagreement there.
Chris Richards next to him, the right center back, and Serginho Dest starting. In that right back spot.
And then you got Tyler Adams for sure. And now,
got him.
Jones, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's sitting next to him?
Yeah, I'm going recency biased for the national team. I'm going Christian Roldan in the 4-2-3-1.
Okay. Any disagreements with? I think. Damn. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see who gets called in general, because if it is Tessman, then maybe he's seen enough where you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to give Tessman another run out, and maybe that's next to Tyler in this one.
Weston is not getting a shout in this spot.
Weston potentially could be. Who are we playing first? Ecuador.
Yeah.
Whew, they're good.
That would be something if Roldan started again.
It would be.
Everyone coming back in.
The rumor is they love him in camp, man.
Yeah, I mean, he is a team guy, team first guy. There's not much you wouldn't like from a coaching staff perspective of someone who comes in dedicated, pushes trainings, gives his all on time, actually early. Sets the tone from a professional standpoint. And then whether he plays or doesn't play, he's not a disruption. You're not going to get attitude. There are some guys we all know, if they're not in the starting 11, there's a different vibe or aura around that player. He's not that guy. So
and we had Ashley Cole on. He said just this, right, about his teams. He said he could pick the best players. And
that's what he would change going back in time if he could.
Right.
Yeah.
About some great players, right? He mentioned some pretty big names, man.
Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes,
Yeah, that was the big takeaway from that interview for sure. Okay, I'm gonna.
Who do you have? Yeah, who do you have?
No. Let's leave Roldan in for right now. I'm gonna rip through.
What, you don't want to put yourself out? You didn't want to. You just wanted my pick. You just didn't want to put yours out, or are you just agreeing? You had Roldan too.
No, I personally
would have had Weston. I would have.
Okay, so there's the discussion. Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
I would say maybe even Tessman, but hold on. I want to hold on to that one because I think the other four are going to be pretty. I don't know. Maybe you guys would disagree. I got Pulisic out wide left. I got Tillman in the middle, Weah on the right, and then Balogun up top.
Whoa! You said Weah's not starting next summer. Right?
Yeah.
What do you mean? How are you going to have Weah starting?
That's what I have, by the way. That's the four I have, but you have him out of the World Cup.
You have him out of the World Cup, and now he's starting in the most important.
You cut him last week.
Window? You absolutely dropped him from the team.
And people are going to argue about my Roldan take, and you're going to cut Weah from the team.
Keep your boots on the bus.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Could you roll that clip, Chuck?
Tony, am I losing my mind, or did he say Weah's not good enough to be on the team?
That's exactly what I said, which is not true. I said that Tim Weah's got more talent in his pinky than I have in my whole body. Okay, so I'm a huge Tim Weah.
We didn't argue that.
Okay,
that wasn't the argument.
Good. So I'm saying that. I said he would not start the first game of the World Cup. He's going to make the team. He could start the rest of the games in the tournament. But
also, give me the guy who's starting over him.
If we play a back three, this isn't a 4-2-3-1 formation. So you're trying to put words in my mouth. I'm not triggered, by the way. This is for clarification. That was only in a back three. Yeah. Only in a back three. This is a 4-2-3-1. And I think
rising.
There's room
that temperature's rising
for Weah and Dest to have a nice relationship on the right side.
Yeah.
I got Tillman underneath, Balogun up top, Christian on the left.
I hooked a whale.
So no, you didn't hook anything. Listen, the only up for discussion is the Roldan spot.
Okay.
I agree with you. So on 10 of these I think feels like we're all in agreement of 10 of those.
So we're
spots.
on 10 of them. Okay.
It's Roldan. And it just depends on who else he calls in. Weston, Tessman. That's a spot if Cardoso gets called in, Aiden Morris gets called in. Like this is the one. Yunus Musa, right? These are all. We got a lot of options for this particular one. And if it now comes down to intangibles, and he thinks that Christian Roldan is the guy that ticks more of the boxes than some of the other guys, then that's who's going to get the start. But yeah, this is an area where I think that's the big one. Let's get another poll up. Let's get another poll up. Who should start in the 6 next to Tyler Adams?
You got a player in Weston who is you start against Inter, played against Borussia Dortmund, Champions League, and you think Roldan will get the nod over a player like Weston?
If it were me picking it, I don't know that I would pick Roldan. Again, I did this on what I think Mauricio Pochettino is going to do. That's how I went through the whole list.
Yeah,
I'm actually pretty satisfied that we have 10 spots like locked in. All right, let's move to a 3-4-2-1 because I'm kind of curious as to how this changes if we go to a 3-4-2-1.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think it's going to be that third center back. It's going to be the big option. But we got, I assume, Freeze in goal. And then, unless you say otherwise, Tones is a resident goalkeeper. You got Ream, Richards. I would say
Ream, Richards, and Scally for me was the right center back.
Yeah, I would say probably Scally. Then you got Dest and Jedi as the wing backs.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess the 6, Tyler, and who's the 6 next to him if we're going to play a box in midfield. And then you have Pulisic, and who's next to Pulisic. And then Balogun's up top. So I guess there's 3 spots. It's the Scally spot, it's the Roldan spot, and then it's the second 10. Is it Tillman? Is it Weah? For me, I would have Tillman in.
So you have Christian as that left inverted.
Yeah, like
winger,
a left inverted winger. Yeah. So you
Christian
see the box in midfield.
You can put Christian there. I think. Yeah.
Adams is one of the 6s. Yep, and then we get up to.
So again, in this formation, you're asking more from the partner from Tyler and his partner. And I think more so Weston fits that responsibility because you are tasked with covering so much ground. And the fact that Weston has played left wing back, right back, left back, you are tasked with kind of filling in the hole. So when Dest or Anthony Robinson are running forward, you have to help Tim Ream or Scally.
Sure. Can I counter that just a little bit? Because what I thought I really liked about the Japan game in particular is that with Roldan in the team or whoever plays next to Tyler, I thought Roldan sat a little bit more, which allowed Tyler to go hunt the ball, which is what he does extremely well.
So then Tessman is the perfect player if you're talking about a player sitting, collecting. So
that Tyler can go hunt.
Yeah.
If you have Weston in the team, then you're asking Tyler to sit a little bit more, which he can do, obviously.
Tessman's a better passer. But again, are you a team that is going to keep the ball or are you a team that has to defend?
Yeah, these are the questions that need to be answered for sure.
Right. So I think when you're talking about chasing the game and having to cover a lot of ground, Tessman is not the player for that. He's done a good job of figuring out spaces more. So his starting position doesn't allow him where he has to really get pulled out of position and chase. He's been pretty good at predicting and being 3-4 steps ahead. So he's not relying on athleticism and pace to put out fires. So I think that's where he's grown a lot. But I think you're asking a lot of those 2 central midfielders in this formation, especially in transition.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Tones, I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you got? And then give me your 10 spot. Balogun up top, Des. There's no.
Yeah, Balogun's up top. That's what I was going to say. So I went Tillman and Weah ahead of him. So Weah in the same line as Pulisic. And Tillman, and Tillman's played there for Leverkusen now.
Yes,
that's where Tillman's playing.
Yeah.
I
like that. That would correct me if I'm wrong, and people in the chat and our producers can say the same. Did Malik Tillman? Remember we played leg 1 in Jamaica?
That's where he came in.
He came in when somebody got hurt. Did Cardoso get hurt, and then Tillman came in as like the second six?
And that was his best game he played for the U.S.
up until that point.
When he played deep in that.
I feel like I saw him a little bit deeper, and he got thrown into it, and he held his own. And to your point, he was solid. So yeah,
I see a lot of people saying, "Hey, Tessman should be the right center back." How do you guys all feel about that versus Scally?
I mean, he can do it, but I don't think that's.
Just
like you're not like if you're trying to put players.
If you're on the front foot, that's probably a great spot for him because he has great distribution. He's a better passer than Scally. You might probably not asked to do a whole lot of defending. It's a lot of, defending space and being aware of a counter, and putting out fires, cleaning up scraps, dealing with balls hit over the top, which you're gonna have to have your keeper off your line. So maybe in that scenario. Great. But if you're talking about having to really defend, I wouldn't put Tessman in that position.
Remember, my thinking is they're going to be a little bit deeper. So it's easier to defend when you're a little bit deeper, right? Because you're not chasing enough space. I'm looking at it as we're going to have to pass our way out of situations. And with Weah a little bit closer to Balogun and Pulisic, those guys give you an opportunity on the counterattack.
Yeah,
right. They give you because there's space that's going to be opened up, being pinned a little bit further back. So that's why I would go. Look, it kills me like to think of a moment with all of these guys that I don't have Weston McKennie in the lineup. I mean, it just I think we look at him and what he's done and how many times he's done it over and over again. But in this lineup right now, I wouldn't be surprised. Weston McKennie's also played quite a bit in that 10 role, but then you take Timothy Weah off the field, and the images I have of Timothy Weah and the game opening up over the last couple of weeks for him and watching him in Champions League last week, I'm like, how do we not have him on the field right now?
Yes.
Or starting that first game in the World Cup. I totally agree with you guys.